everyone, Dave from the internet here. Thanks for checking out Explore Industrial Automation with me. Today we've got a special video for Casual Thursday. I was actually in the middle of cutting another video that will come out probably next week. Yesterday I had a great conversation with Warren. He's another young person who has spent time in industrial automation, talking about our experiences and the things that we've noticed. And we had a really interesting conversation about opportunities. And honestly, it got me really psyched up. And so I decided this week it needs to be a video on kind of opportunities and the outlook and how fantastic it is for everyone. Let me back it up for just a minute and talk about something that I know I struggled with when I was starting my career, and I know a lot of other people struggled with. It's kind of the time and the perseverance it takes to be really good at anything that you want to do. And the reason I say that is because in industrial automation and lots of other industries, it takes a long time to learn your craft and to be really good. And I like to think of it this way, you know, you come out of high school, you come out of college, and pretty much nothing you've done in your life has ever lasted longer than 3 months. I mean, you're in for a semester or a summer, and you're working on a project or a couple of projects, and then you're done and you hand in the project, or you take a test and you get a grade and you get feedback, and then you're on to the next thing. With industrial automation, it's not that simple. If you think back to the pebbles of sand on the beach analogy we talked about in the first episode, it very much is that, you know, it's all additive and cumulative, and there's a lot of knowledge that goes into learning and really being good at what this is. What most people told me and what I tend to tell people is, you know, you're a good 18 months or 2 years of working hard before you figure out what's really going on in this industry. And that's, you're coming in, you're working, you are gaining that knowledge, you're being ready to apply it to solutions in an industry where there are people who have a lot of knowledge, and many of them will give that knowledge if you ask, but there's very little that you come in and you don't get a notebook that says, okay, Dave, here are all of the things you need to know, and then you're going to be really good at this. It's things that you learn and you have to talk to people with, and lots of people struggle with over the course of their career. So what's the payoff? Why should you struggle and spend the time and effort and energy in this industrial automation sector to be your career? You know, there are a few things that are absolutely fantastic about what we do. You know, there is a lot of opportunity for travel, you know, foreign and domestic. I know people who have been lucky enough to spend time in Europe working on projects. It is a fantastic opportunity to travel if that's what you're looking for. You get to figure out solutions. It's not just a single ball valve or a PLC or a couple bits of code or a panel. You get to have people come to you looking for help, and you get to help them with the entirety of their solutions, which is one of my favorite things to do. You know, have someone have a conversation about a problem they're having, and then be able to solve that problem and help figure it out is a super rewarding thing, and something that I, at this point, get to do on a daily or weekly basis, which is absolutely fantastic. There is tons of knowledge. If you want to learn, you will have virtually unlimited opportunities to learn. You're going to be able to learn from classes, you're going to be able to learn through notebooks, you're going to be able to learn through people that you work with, people that you meet. There are a lot of people who have been working in this industry 30, 40, 50 years who are a wealth of knowledge, and more times than not, they are willing to give that knowledge to you if you're willing to learn and willing to ask. And what kind of goes with all of that, something that is really rewarding to me is knowing where stuff is made. You know, walking into a hardware store, walking into a grocery store, knowing who makes the products that you are buying, knowing those facilities, knowing that you maybe have put, you know, some parts or some solutions into those facilities, and you know Joe or Sally that works at that factory, and you're buying the drywall or the plywood or the paper or whatever else from the factory, and you know the people personally, and you know the stories, and you know how it's being made, is a pretty awesome thing. If you see me at a grocery or other store that has the self-checkout and I'm being yelled at and they're like, please sir, get down from the self-checkout, it's probably because I want to know what sensors or what tower lights they're using. Yeah, long-term opportunities. They look absolutely fantastic. So I talked about people that had been in the industry for 30 or 40 years. A lot of those people are in their late 50s or 60s and at some point are getting ready to retire, and a lot of those positions that they'll be retiring from are the upper level leadership positions. And so if you want to talk about an industry that 5 to 10 years from now is looking at a seismic shift, this industrial automation is one of those industries where if you come in and learn, there will be virtually unlimited opportunity to go ahead and get in a management or get in a leadership position or be a thought leader or be something like that, both on the manufacturing, distributor, SI side, because there will be all that opportunity in addition to everything that's happening with IIoT and connected enterprise and Industry 4.0, as well as on the end user manufacturer side, because they have a bunch of people who have been there and have been doing the same thing for 40 or 50 years. And again, there'll be a lot of people looking to retire. And industrial automation is really interesting because there are not a lot of people in that mid-40s age range. It was very much a lost generation, if you will. And so people in their 20s and their 30s now are going to have tons of time in order to make that jump into leadership and other higher level positions if that's what you're looking for in the next 5 to 10 years. And so if you're watching this today when it comes out, or a couple years down the line, 5, 10 years from now, there'll be a lot of opportunity for you to get in the industry, to spend your time learning from everyone who has this vast amount of experience, and then be able to take that experience and be able to get into the sort of types of leadership or managerial or thought leadership positions that you're looking for. I like to think about all of the knowledge that is there with the older generation in their 50s or 60s. They have, 30, 40 years of experience, things that at some point in the next 5 to 10 years, if we don't take advantage and learn everything that we possibly can, it's going to be gone, because once they're gone, that knowledge is gone, and we need to take full advantage of that opportunity to learn from everyone right now when we have the opportunity. So Dave from the internet here saying thanks for exploring industrial automation with me. Please let me know what you guys think about this. It's a little bit different than what I had been putting out before. I have lots of thoughts on this subject. If you're interested in it, I will happily put this sort of stuff in between Explore Industrial Automation. But until next Casual Thursday, catch you guys soon. Bye-bye.